Hello and welcome to an impromptu Talkin' Yanks. We just hit go live button. We haven't tweeted this link out or anything yet, so we may stall, but the Yankees finally called up Peraza. Jake and I were in the office. We were about to go home. Now we are sitting here discussing it. I have the link, Jake. I'm tweeting it out. Are you excited?
I am excited. You tweeted out from Talkin' Yanks.
I don't have access to the account.
Okay. We should tell people involved with us. What is going on, everyone? The Yankees have called up Oswald Peraza. Absolutely unreal. It's so funny. Hey, we were just in the office grinding on the off day, built a little different. And then the news broke. There was hug watch in the dugout, but you never fully know what to do with that. You get a lot of pump fakes. Then Joel Sherman tweeted out, Oswald Peraza has been called up by the Yankees. I think we're both kind of in a state of shock.
I'm in a state of anger. And I know that's bizarre for some people. But if you were going to call him up this season, you should have done it 2 months ago when the pressure was a little off and you had wiggle room to let him find his footing in the big league, because now he's coming into like a you better fucking perform, kid situation. And I'm excited. I think he's going to do well. But I thought this was not an option, and that's why it was delayed so long. But it was an option. You just didn't do it earlier in the season because you punted the whole fucking month of August. September 1, and they call him up? 3 phantom ILs this month? Openly admitting Rizzo's going to sit because he's banged up, and if it was September, he'd play. Like, guys, you can't do this. You had a 15-game lead. And all the signs are you just punted the month. Now, I'm excited that he's up, but you should have done it so long ago. And now, both Oswaldos up, Jake. I said this. They would have to be so bad defensively to not have one of them be the starting shortstop in the postseason. They would have to be so bad defensively.
Lot to unpack there, and let's do it.
Because they actually have pop. They can run into a double, a homer.
Right. Oswald Peraza homered in tonight's AAA game before getting called up.
So they would. So I'm already anticipatory mad.
Yeah, let's
about both of them being on the roster and IKF still being starting shortstop.
We got a lot of time for that. Let's I'm gonna come from the other angle.
September 1?
I'm gonna come from the other angle. Thank the Lord we called this kid up. And I know there's been a lot of eyes on us, and for good reasons and bad reasons, and a lot of people think it's totally tied to IKF. It's not anymore. Our third base position is open. We think they're gonna run Donaldson out there. And Donaldson has played great defense. He has not hit all year. Peraza and Cabrera are going to get the chance at shortstop. Cabrera's going to get the chance everywhere. We'll see what they do with Peraza, if they move him anywhere else or if they just play him at shortstop. You're 1,000% right. If this was in your deck of cards, we've talked about the difference between the Yankees and the Houston Astros. Jeremy Pena, the young Astros shortstop, he got the call to start of the year. They didn't even do service time stuff. They let him run. They kind of want to find out what they have. I think the Yankees like a sneak attack a little more, and I do think there was a little bit of them that, A, they won so much earlier in the year that they said, we don't really have problems. If this team's going to win like this, who cares? And then I think they got to a point where there's some discussion if they wanted to dodge calling him up before the trade deadline. There was rumors of the Gleyber-Torres trade. If that had happened, would Peraza have gotten called up then? And then there was rumors about the draft pick thing. If he didn't get called up after August 20th, they get a chance for him to be in the Rookie of the Year next year, which if that's how we're thinking about a World Series year, like catch the net. He's on the team.
Rookie of the Year, yeah, they get
He's on the team. I want to see what the kid's got. It's been the same speech since like the second week of April. We brought IKF in. Let's see what he's got. I'm IKF even got hot for a little bit. I think it was till the end of April that I was like, all right, if he's going to slap it around and maybe the defense will get better. It kind of stayed the same. The offense didn't take a jump. Let's see what Peraza is. And rookies are rookies, and this is what Jimmy was talking about. He could come up and he could have some of the worst 10 games you've ever seen. Major League Baseball is very different. He could also come up and be a stud. So I'm so happy that they are giving this kid a chance. He's earned it. He started slow in the minors. Our minor league baseball source and Dolphin fucker, Joe's McFly, is friends with Peraza. He reached out to him. Peraza said, I was freezing in AAA. And the Yankees moved their AAA up so that some of their young players would freeze to feel that. So they're ready for October. So, hey, maybe long story short, we got to where we wanted to go. He got a taste of the cold. He started slow. Now he's on the team. Hopefully he's ready for October because I don't even think there's an argument he's the most talented shortstop on the team. It's just how ready will he be? And they did it. They did it after not for so long.
I'm happy they did it. There's a lot more pressure on him to win the job in 4 weeks or 4.5 weeks time now. And we'll see how they utilize him if they start him. I mean, is it going to be... It should be IKF at third, Peraza at short, Oswaldo Cabrera at second. Rizzo DJ can float then somewhere.
Yeah, we still need an outfielder.
Fuck, it should be DJ at third.
We still need an outfielder. So
Cabrera can play third. Cabrera can play right field then.
Yeah.
DJ at third.
Or second, yeah.
If they play Peraza off shortstop at second or third, and then keep IKF at short, I lose my mind. I am anticipating losing my mind some way or another over how they do this because everything's been ridiculous. And I'm just trying to figure out what it is. There's no way this is going to play out how I want it to play out. So, how are they going to hinder this?
Little devil's advocate. I don't know. I do know IKF's numbers are better against lefties. There's a lot of Yankees whose numbers are better against lefties. I don't know what you do. I don't really know what you do. If you're calling up the kid.
He's eligible for the postseason roster, right?
Yes. We're 99% sure on
Because he's on the 40-man.
Because if you're on the 40, we believe the rule has been if you're on the 40-man, you're eligible to play. Shane McClanahan played for the Rays. He didn't even pitch in the majors that year. They called him up. He pitched in the postseason because he was on the 40-man. Jose Iglesias could not play for the Red Sox previously because he got added to the team in September. So he did not have to get called up before today to be on the playoff roster. 99% on that. If that 1% is right, then I would go ballistic. Because then what are we doing? But we're 99% on that. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, we're heading to the Trop in what's become an important 3-game set all of a sudden. And if you're calling this kid up, you better give him a chance, man. You gasped.
No, he's eligible.
Okay.
Any player who is on the 40-man roster, 60-day IL, as of 11:59 Eastern Time, August 31st, is eligible. But he was on the 40-man roster.
Right. He's been on the 40-man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have double confirmation on that. And Jack Curry just retweeted Joe
Play
Sherman.
him.
You have to. If you called him up, that's the other thing.
What if they called him up, Marwin's hanging out with his baby, and then Marwin comes back, and he goes back down?
I mean, if you opened up this can of words for a day or something like that, it's insane. And we know the Yankees wouldn't do that. They care about the image in the press so much.
But did you hear Boone on the K show today?
Well, that was before this.
But did you hear him?
Peraza started the game today, dude. They made this decision on the fly. Peraza hit a home run in a baseball game playing today, and then they called him up.
So what, did they get bullied into it? Or was the plan September 1?
I don't know.
Well, Boone had a really good quote
seem
today
like
on
the
the K show.
Why would he play today if it was a plan?
Did you hear the Boone quote?
I've heard some of the Boone quotes. Let's hear this Boone quote.
Boone said that IKF's defense, his assessment of IKF's defense was based on internal metrics including DRS, range, and making good plays. I forgot the Yankees have their own internal MGP.
Yeah.
So if you're a person that critical thinks, the Yankees use DRS and only DRS. DRS and only DRS, yeah. He followed up. He's a top 5 to 7 defensive shortstop, which means he's top 7. Otherwise, you'd say top 5 or top 6.
You wouldn't give yourself the wiggle.
You wouldn't give the wiggle.
You would just say top 5.
You'd say he's top 5 shortstop or top 7 shortstop. If you're expanding to 7, what a bunch of nonsense.
That means there's internal people in the Yankees that don't think he's as good as other people in the Yankees, which we know is also true. So,
he's bad by every metric besides one. But they have their own making good plays metric they've been charting. I think they pass around the hat, good or bad, and they put everyone votes and they tally them.
Glaber had one of the worst months of his career in August. IKF's offensive stats this year and his defensive stats have been exactly who your baseball card and eye test would tell you IKF is. Josh Donaldson has not hit this year. He's played good defense. Let those guys figure out if they're going to earn playing time for October. Let Cabrera and Peraza play. So funny we've hit this point, and now we have to call them by their last name to identify them. They used to just kind of be the Oswalds.
I think I'm going to be calling them
Waldo
and Wald.
Okay.
Or the Oswaldos, and only both of them.
I think I'm going Cabrera, Peraza. Those kind of both roll off. You have to play them and make Donaldson, Glaber, or IKF earn their playing time, because that's the reason you had a trash August. And you do wonder, maybe there's another move to this that we don't know.
Marwin's back.
They said they were going to reevaluate Rizzo's back. Could Rizzo be heading to an IL stint? I don't know. Maybe I'm jumping the gun
reinstated Marwin and recalled Peraza. So someone's got to go to the IL, or do they only get one player? Tilo back down, but wouldn't they have time then to wait and not do it?
It would be Tilo back down, or it's an IL stint, which would be Rizzo or DJ. Because, the only other candidate was kind of Trevino. He was banged up, but if you'd call up a catcher. So, the only thing that would be D-bag crew, which we know the Yankees don't do this, is if they had to reinstate Marwin to DFA him. But I don't know. That's kind of overstepping my boundaries. I would assume, and I normally don't assume this, I'm going to kind of assume an IL trip. Which that would open up a whole another can of worms and problems for the Yankees. But at the same time,
because they can add 2 players, but one has to be a pitcher, correct?
Yes. Unless that was some debate in the office. If I feel bad putting you on research on this, but I'm the worst Google searcher in the world. Originally, these roster rules were put in to limit the amount of pitchers you had, so maybe you can call up 2 position players and not a pitcher? Because aren't they out of pitchers to call up anyways? Like, wouldn't it have to be Davey on the 40-man? And he just pitched the other day.
There's another guy that might be hurt, but I don't know.
Bard, I guess they just sent down, but they can't call him back up unless there was an injury, right?
Yeah. I don't know. How are we going to get beat up here?
My way too soon opinion, and this is why we jump on the mics, and maybe I'm wrong. My guess would be Rizzo goes to the IL, which again, I'm overstepping my boundaries huge there. Don't think it's right. But with DJ being your quote-unquote everyday first baseman for 2 weeks, that really allows everyone I just talked about to play and figure it out.
How many pitchers do they have? The rule is they can carry 14 pitchers at most.
So 14 pitchers at most. They currently have the 5 starters now: Cole, Herman, Schmidt, Montes, Tyone. And then they have Clay, Johnny, Wandy, Lou, Ron, Lucas, Weiser, and Banda. So they have 8 plus 5, which we all know is 13. And the only guy that would even have a chance to currently be called up on the 40-man
So it's fine, though. It's fine. Then they're not sending someone down.
would be Davey or Luke Barr.
You don't need 14. You
Right.
can't have 15.
Right.
And all the pitchers are hurt, so they are rolling with a huge bench full of so many guys that shouldn't start.
Well, hey, and again, yeah, maybe my IL thing is totally off, but I guess I was looking for a way for the crew we just talked about. The kids have to play. You called those kids up to play. End of story. Right now, let the kids play and see what we got while the other guys figure out who's going to get a chance to play in October. Because there's playing time to be had.
So I'm going to make you
Okay.
come to my side.
Okay. What's your
thinking.
side?
How
Can this go wrong?
How are they going to torture me? What's your best guess at how they're going to torture me? And then I'll help you out on the other devil's advocate of like, this is going to be awesome. They play the kids. They play him at shortstop 2 out of every 3 games for the next 2 weeks and see where it lands at, then decide if they need to go back to IKF going 2 out of 3 instead of 1 out of 3. That would be the good side.
Right.
Now you tell
Or he
me
just plays every day.
how they're going to, there's no fucking way. You tell me how they're going to hurt me.
If you're going to devil's advocate, you got to get to the devil. How they can hurt you
Yeah, how are they going to torture me here?
is if they sparingly play Peraza. They start him once a series, if that. Maybe they bring him in as a runner, or I guess you want to know how they could really torture you?
The Clark Schmidt treatment.
No.
Just pinch hits only.
If they use him as a defensive replacement. I knew I'd get there. Got to know your weak spots. Got to pop that pimple. If they admitted, that would be the most torturesome they could do to you. If they were like, well, it's late in the game, let's put him in.
He's better defensively.
So I don't think they can.
But we're not going to start him. We admit he's better defensively, but we're not going to start him.
That was me finding my most
that's
devil's
on
advocate.
that's on the wheel now
That was
of options.
That was me finding as much devil's advocate to the devil's advocate that I could
They're
find.
also
Yeah.
They also, if they only give him chances to fail, like they did
Clark Schmidt
and some other rookies.
Even Oswaldo's pinch hit the other night being the example. Two outs in the ninth.
Two outs.
Yeah.
2 outs. Go get him,
Against a
kid.
good reliever, yeah.
Against a nasty reliever. I mean,
or I guess the other thing that would drive you insane because you like rhythm and patterns if there is no rhythm or pattern. We used to guess the lineup used to be one of your favorite segments on the Talkin' Yanks midweek episode. If there's no rhythm or rhyme to it, that is also something that would drive you nutty.
will IKF play another position? We haven't seen that yet.
He has to. And I think that would be the proper message across the bow. IKF,
not benched, but
this is third base. You've won a gold glove here. Josh Donaldson, IKF is playing third base. This should be on both of your radars. Will they do that? I have no idea. I have no idea because they haven't played IKF at another position all year. You know, my original theory from the start of the year was they brought in IKF to play shortstop. They wanted the kid to win the job. We heard rumors. I don't know. Have we ever said that? That they wanted to call up one of the kids?
I don't know, maybe.
We heard rumors they wanted to call up Peraza last year.
For the wild card game.
We heard that. Could be rumors, could be nothing. We don't know. Probably said it on here. Maybe. If that was in play and you're willing to call him up now, let's connect those two dots. That means the whole range of this season. IKF was brought in to get beat out by Oswald Peraza. The Yankees got off to a super hot start. The Yankees thought Marwin Gonzalez wouldn't stick with this team, and they thought IKF would become their utility guy.
You did say this from the start. You
He
said
can play
both,
shortstop.
You
He
said
can play
both
third.
Oswaldos would be on the roster by the end of the season, and IKF would become a utility guy. You've been saying that since February.
when Marwin Gonzalez started playing for this team, all of us raised an eyebrow because he plays really nice defense at every position, and he switch hits. It's not pretty, but he switch hits, and he plays every position. He seems like the position.
You went Swedish there.
He plays every position.
Yeah.
Sorry, we were just playing GeoGuessr. Go watch that on JJTV.
I needed a smile. I'm torturing myself. I got to turn the camera off. I'm torturing myself.
Marwin Gonzalez, I think, I don't know, and IKF can prove me wrong. What I saw from Marwin Gonzalez at every position on a baseball field, I asked Jack Curry about it the first time we did a live stream on Yes. Him playing every position defensively so well. Position. Him playing every position so well. I mean, it benissimo, huh? Him playing every position so well was so impressive. And remember how much we heard early on in the season? The Cora stuff? How good is Marwin Gonzalez? Can you believe how good this guy actually is? I did a joke about how DJ and Marwin don't respect each other. Because Marwin can play every position. DJ kind of doesn't care about that. And Marwin's like, I don't know, I can hit with a little more power than you, dude. We're kind of the same. That was a joke.
You're always joking.
IKF from the bench, I don't know. What can he do? He can put a ball in play. Are there times when that's necessary and good? Yes. We saw during the Houston game this year, he had a clutch hit. His bases loaded numbers have been good this year because that's a real pressure point for the defense. So there might be a bench role for him. I don't know. Let's see what the other guys are doing. But defensively as a bench player, Marwin Gonzalez can kind of do everything except center field, and he does it good. And IKF, he can catch. And does that bring any of that conversation back into play? I don't know.
I mean, was he good at catcher?
He played it at the MLB level, which I think
shortstop all year, Jake.
Right.
It wouldn't be the starting shortstop.
But if that could be
that
could be your third catcher, I don't know. I
got to go. I'm twisted up. They're gonna
let two more things out of your heart, and one of them has to be.
No,
a nice
you fucked
thing.
me up with your defensive replacement thing.
I'm sorry.
It's all I can think
you
about.
You asked for it.
I'm so excited they called him up. They should have done it 2 months ago. There's a lot of pressure on the kid now. It's a lot of risk because if he doesn't pan out and IKF is the best option because he's like really flounders, then you're going to get IKF sad and out of his rhythm. So I just think it's crazy they waited till now. They're going to torture me somehow, and I am twisted up in fear of it. So I'm out because there's not a lineup tonight to give me a sense of relief.
Right.
And I got to go. I'm going to where else? I'm playing blitzball and letting out my
Should we do one? Do you want to make a dream lineup? August was one of the worst months you've experienced in your life.
Yeah, probably like my whole life, yeah.
So let's say, devil's advocate in a good way, that September's going to be the exact opposite. Let's say Peraza's a stud. The signs Cabrera has shown has been everything juicy. Matt Carpenter comes back. He's healthy. Harrison Bader joins the team. He's healthy. Would you want to give me a potential playoff lineup now that we have these pieces and everyone?
No, I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I want to give you like tomorrow's lineup.
I don't know if the Rays know who they're starting yet, which is really funny.
Well, I don't care.
I know. But the Yankees do.
Yeah, I don't want them to care.
But they do.
But that's part of my lineup for tomorrow.
Right.
I'm just doing defense.
It's still listed as Springs, but I saw another site, not sure.
I want tomorrow.
Okay.
Full shakeup mode.
Okay. I like
Game
it.
1. It's September now.
Yeah.
We have to do something. You guys have forced our hand by not winning.
Right.
Benny, Judge, Oswaldo in the outfield. Left to right.
Got it.
IKF at third. Peraza at short. DJ at second.
Rizzo at first. Trevino catching.
They're not going to do that because they're going to Band-Aid it
Stanton DHing.
Stan DHing. They're not going to do that. They're going to Band-Aid it because having IKF in the lineup but not at shortstop means he's not the starting shortstop anymore. And they haven't done that yet. They've only sat him when someone else plays shortstop. That's the Band-Aid they need to rip off immediately tomorrow. Immediately. We should get tweets tonight. IKF taking grounders at third or before the game tomorrow or whenever they do infield. That's the Band-Aid they need to rip off. Otherwise, they are just slow pulling the hairs out of everybody's arm because they're scared. And then JD and Glaber on the bench. And Hicks on the bench. That's the Band-Aid and the message that they need to do tomorrow. And now whether they perform, whether or not, you can start bringing DJ back in the fold.
Can I give you a half optimistic spin that I know you'll believe in partially? There's been 2 times in recent seasons that the Yankees came into a series that we were like, you have to win. Remember they played the Red Sox? Was it 2021? Like the first real Red Sox series in August. It was the first time they copied a lineup twice. They ran the same lineup the whole Red Sox series. That's what it was. And it was like, oh,
last year.
You're going to take this seriously. There is a chance for that with Tampa in second place, a couple games behind, that they roll out their best /shots fired lineup.
But we don't know if that's their best lineup.
That's their best shots fired lineup. That's why I threw that out there.
It's their best shots fired.
They could start Donaldson at third over IKF on the bench, and we would shrug and say, okay.
And that's what I'd bet on. But that's the lineup defensively I would do to just make a point. Things are going to change. We are going to try to do things differently.
Options.
But
Oswald Peraza gives you a lot more options.
Maybe it wasn't last year when they did that against Boston.
Maybe it was a couple years ago. Doesn't feel like 2020, but
we've had just the same complaints forever, I guess.
And I guess something to watch. And it
was DJ Judge. No, I don't know when it was. Yeah.
Peraza.
IKF has been good with runners in scoring position. IKF has been good with clutch stats. Where? I tweeted this out yesterday.
It's like bases loaded. That's like kind of it.
But this is what happens because the gaslighting has been insane.
Yeah.
That's what people keep just regurgitating things that they read somewhere or hear somewhere. And it's been insane that these sentiments just keep coming back. High leverage. He's 8th on the team in OPS. 2 outs, runners in scoring position. He's 9th on the team. On the team. Not in the AL East. Not in the AL. Not in the MLB.
Team.
On his own team. Late and close. He's 7th on the Yankees. Why do you guys keep regurgitating the same? We're all being gaslit, and like 70% of the people are falling for it, and I'm going to lose my fucking mind, man.
Yeah, I think the 70% is high. It's just those people are being loud. It's one of those things.
I think they believe it. Like,
they do.
No metric.
They do.
He's not top 5 to 7 on the team.
Yeah.
So how could he be good in the league? I got to go.
Peraza last 90 days in the minors, 293, 366, and 872 OPS, 13 homers, and 22 steals. Hey, get excited. Let's see the next chapter. We will see you guys Sunday night, and there should be some juicy stuff to talk about. Thank you, everyone that joined us. Go Yankees. Thank you, Zach. Pinch hitting in an emergency situation. And we're going to go home, I think.
I'm going to play Blitz.